How's it going, guys? I'm Joe.
And I'm Lee.
And welcome back to Joe and Lee Van Life. We are talking about 5 things you should know before starting your van build.
Yeah, we thought this was super important. We loved it when we got to look up different YouTube videos like this when we were first getting started.
Rabbit hole.
Yeah, you get lost down the rabbit hole, but it matters. It helps so much to be able to go look up useful information that helps you start your journey towards building out your own van. So, here it goes.
Number 1, it will take more time than you think.
Yeah, so pretty much everything we have done, we've done it like twice. And that's just because nothing is as simple as it would seem when you're building out a van, especially if you're a beginner at building anything, right?
Yeah.
And that's us. I've never really built anything using wood or any kind of like builder material. So basically, I mean, it's just like, how do I hold the screwdriver? Like, you don't know, I had no idea what I was doing.
We're both novices, and I'm not mechanically inclined. I don't work with wood a lot, and this is all new to us, but we want to do a really good job. So whenever you're learning something new, a new skill or anything like that, it takes a lot longer than when you think. And also, whenever we were thinking, let's build a van out, in our heads, that seemed like it would be so easy, we just cut wood and put stuff together.
I don't know about like super easy, but
in my head, I was like, we can get it done in 4 months.
Okay, I wasn't that enthusiastic.
I was pretty enthusiastic. I'm optimistic.
But I mean, I didn't realize like how many things can go wrong in, But anyway, so yeah, it's just like be ready to invest a lot more time and to like be ready to start over. Multiple times. Yeah,
and it's pretty crazy because I work full-time and she goes to school full-time, and we're building an online business. We love to rock climb and hang out with friends and family, and so you just add on building a van into the mix, and it takes longer than you think. So
he forgot to mention planning a wedding.
So, yeah. We were just recently married. So.
Yeah, so we just had a wedding in July, and we were also building out the van. I was going to school, and he's working full time. Plus, we're working on building an online business because that's key, and having income while we're on the road. And so it's just been a crazy few months. And now that the wedding's over, we have a little bit more time to just focus on a few of those things instead of being all scattered all over the place. So, anyways. Point of number 1 is it's gonna take a lot longer than you think to build out your van, and that's okay.
Also, before you move on, use your resources. Again, like if you are novices like we are, her father, Ted, my father-in-law, has helped us so much. We reached out to a professional carpenter, and he's a good friend of ours, and he really helped us a ton. I mean, all of our friends are willing to help. So if you don't have tools or you don't have a space to work or the knowledge, be sure to use your resources because people love to help. They want to be a part of your life, and we've really enjoyed that experience as well.
Yeah, so just don't be afraid to ask your people, for help because you're probably going to need it.
Yep. Okay, so what's number 2?
All right, number 2 is kind of following right up with number 1 is that things are going to get wrong and you're gonna survive. I think last weekend, the weekend before last weekend, we were working on covering up all the holes like in the doors to kind of make it look better, and we spent an entire day just cutting out templates and trying to paint them and then sand them, but then the wood didn't look the way we thought it would, so it's just never ending, like stuff not working out the way that you would think it would.
Yeah, you definitely have to be flexible and willing to, even when something doesn't work, to try something different or to kind of clear your mind out, take a breath, step back, and then go at it again.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're laughing, but like it's not easy. So, so yeah, we've had a lot of redos. Like actually just now we're super excited. We got this beautiful sink, and we just put it back in, and so we originally had a sink.
Mm-hmm. Same sink.
The same exact sink from the same company, and we cut our countertops to that shape. Well, then we found out our sink had a crack in it, so we sent it back, and we got a new one. Well, it's the same sink, it should fit. Well, it doesn't.
The dimensions are just a little bit bigger, and so now
it's like a half inch maybe off.
Yeah.
So now we thought our countertop was done, and we have to go back and recut our countertops, like make it a little bit wider to fit our new sink.
And we're cutting an 1 3/4 butcher block, so it's not just like, you know, a 1/4 inch plywood or anything like that. It's thick wood.
Yeah. So fun, right? So you think you're done and you're not. So that's what we're saying. Things aren't going to work out the way you want it to, and that's number 2.
Yep.
So go ahead.
Number 3, insulation pros and cons. So whenever we started insulation, we had, you know, a lot of, again, there's 1,000 ways to do something out there on the internet. We were doing a lot of YouTubes and searching up on the best way to insulate your van. And so there's several ways. We decided to go with fiberglass, polyiso insulation board, gap and crack, and some other things.
Right, and we can put a list. If you guys, like I said, if you guys want more information on exactly the specifics of what we're doing, just leave us a comment. We would love to give you guys a lot of information. But like he said, we used the pink fiberglass insulation with the polyiso boards and gap and crack, but there's a lot of other things, like there's the denim insulation. There's all kinds of stuff you can, there's like wool, there's so many different things, so many different materials that you can use. It's really hard to figure out, okay, well, which one's not going to get moldy and then kill me?
Yeah,
you know?
Which one has a water barrier?
Yeah. Do you want a barrier? Do you not? So there's all these different things that you can literally just like spend your entire life trying to figure out, and it's just important to, you know, use your resources, but at the end of the day, go with whatever you feel is right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so back to our story about insulation. Sorry, I had that rant.
No, it's okay. So we decided to go with that. We also thought about going spray foam, where you can get it professionally done. It's 2 chemicals that are bound, and then they spray it onto your van pretty much, and then you can scrape it off so that it looks nice and uniform.
Well, yeah, so you don't scrape out the insulation, but you like scrape it to where it's
the
even.
Excess, yeah.
Yeah, and so there's also spray foam kits that you can buy yourself and do yourself. But we were looking into getting it spray foamed professionally, and the reason is because if you get your van spray foamed incorrectly, then your van can warp, like the sides, like the body of it.
It might bubble out or dent in.
So that's scary.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to figure out, okay, can we make this happen, and should we try to make spray foam happen? And we went to a company, a local company, to see if we could get it spray foamed, and they told us that they would do it, but first we would have to sign like a liability release form, basically saying if they screw up our van, they're not going to do anything to fix it.
We're liable for that.
Right.
So then we spend the money for them to do it, and then if they did mess it up, you know, we would have to live with that. But we've also heard, I mean, we've reached out to several other people who have used spray foam, and they've had great experiences. One van did have some warping, but it wasn't even visible. So
Yeah.
I think if we did it again, we would honestly go spray foam.
Yeah, because it took us like 4 days to do insulation.
Yeah, that was
And-
with both of us working at it.
Actually, there was like more, we had our friends and family helping too, but my point is, like, the cost was about the same, maybe a little bit more to do it ourselves, plus the time.
Yep.
If we wouldn't have had such a sketchy spray foam guy, we probably would have gotten it done. So find some, if you're interested in doing spray foam, find somebody who has already done it successfully in their van. Like if you follow people on social media, and then just try to go to the same people, because you know that there's probably more of a chance that nothing bad is going to happen.
Yeah, and especially if they've done it before in a van a couple times or several times, then you know that, you know, you're going to have a good outcome.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so number 4 is you have to just get started, okay?
Oh my gosh, it took us forever. We bought the van, we had an empty shelf for a couple months, and again, we were kind of, we got paralyzed by analysis, or if you've heard, paralysis by analysis. So much research and figuring out what we wanted to do, and again, it just, you have to feel it out. It's whatever you feel best or more comfortable going with your budget, with your skill set. And it took us so much time to really get started and what to start on.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So do your research, learn as much as you can, but then start.
Yeah.
Because I think we spent a little bit too much time, because we were trying to figure out, okay, what's the best thing to do? And that's all a matter of opinion and kind of what you want in your van. So
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it depends.
Yeah, we also, I mean, like, we had to research what kind of a van build out that we wanted, the way
Yeah.
that we wanted to convert it.
Like all the different layouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so once you find that, then you can get a little bit more detailed, and then, okay, what's the next step? Do I want windows? How am I going to insulate it? How am I going to do the floor? You guys can also check out our website, Joe and Lee. Is it joeandleevanlife.com? Yeah. Yes, it is, joeandleevanlife.com. Our blog has everything that we did, but we didn't know exactly what to do first. So again, in your research, find out what the design is or kind of what you want, and then where you're going to start, and just do it.
Right. Okay, so number 5.
Compromise. We're in a relationship. I mean, I'm sure if you're single, it'd be a lot easier, but I got this one to care about. And we're going to be in the van for at least 2 years, so we really want to make sure that we're living in our best home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you're going to have to figure out what you want to live in, like what kind of space you want to live in, and is your partner okay with that? Like some people want a shower, some people don't want a shower. When we started doing our van build, I was dead set on a shower.
Yeah.
I was dead set on windows, and I got my windows, but I decided not to go with the shower just because we're gonna do like a road shower on top. And then we'll use that like if we're camping, and then if we're in the city, we'll just use our gym because we're always going to be like rock climbing or using Planet Fitness or something like that. So there's just more motivation to get into the gym. Plus, we get a lot more space in the van. So there's our compromise. So that's a good example of something that we had to compromise on, and that's just one of like 100 different things that we've had to compromise on.
Absolutely. And it's also really good to know your role. Like, what are you best at, and what do you really exceed in? And yeah, there's always learning curves, but I'm good at specific things and Leandra's good at specific things. So we've decided what our roles are, and it's really helped us build process out a lot.
Yeah.
And just being able actually just to work with each other, it's been very relationship building.
Cool. That's a great way to put it.
No,
all right,
it's
guys.
great.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We are excited to share so many different van things with you guys. Leave us comments if you have any questions, and we will be seeing you guys soon.
Yeah. If you guys want any suggestions on websites, resources, or people to talk to, please DM us or send us a message somehow, and we'd love to get back to you.
I don't think YouTube has DM.
Well, place a comment down. We'll reply back to you.
All right, guys.
All right,
Bye.
cool.